What's up, folks? Father here, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Today we're going to be taking a look at the custom tactics I used when I completed Foot Champs in under 50 minutes. It was absolutely insane. This is the 4-1-2-1-2 Nara. It's one of the best formations in the game anyway. It's quite strong at the minute in August, and I was able to blitz through opponents with it. So we're going to have tactics and gameplay through this video. It will be timestamped down below, and we'll jump right into it. But remember to leave a like on the video and hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. As always, we will talk a little bit about personnel, but you can see the setup essentially. We're in a 4-3-1-2, but it's going to change right into the 4-1-2-1-2 Nara whenever we get into the custom tactics. From the fullbacks alone at the start, you can see we've opted for like a more defensive fullback and then a more attacking fullback, which I think is like the best system for it. Obviously, you can use this Cordoba as a more attacking player. His stats have been boosted accordingly to do so, but I still feel using him strictly as a more defensive player is the best way to go about it. Over on the tactics though, 4-1-2-1-2 Naro, the second variant, we're going to be running a balanced defensive style. No press here, just balanced with how we want the system drawn. 43 width. I found it for for the back systems, I want it to be at least 40 width. Going below that causes some problems, so I've opted for 43, and then we played 67 depth, and that was a nice rounded amount where the team, obviously we don't have a press on, but we can still manually press. My team were far enough forward to sort of be advanced and have a pressing option, being able to use like a second man press kind of thing, but they weren't that too far back that it was becoming a hindrance for me. For the build up, I think direct passing on chance correction is still the best thing to go for, and then we had fast build up, which has always been a favorite of mine for the 4-1-2-1-2 Naro. I think you can go long ball or fast build up. Long ball's really good for just sort of forcing big massive balls through into the strikers, but fast build up for me allows a lot of like triangle play, and I'm sort of, when I look at the formation, I'll try and explain that for you guys. Now, we had a 50 width, we kept very neutral actually, and then we had 5 players in the box, 2 corners and free kicks. But when you look at it here, when I talk about triangles, because Spinazzola basically roams in front of the back line, they've got a triangle with Chiellini Gomez, then you've got that triangle with Vertu to Cordoba, one from Barella to Pereira, and then in the attacking sense there's lots of triangles too. But essentially that direct passing with fast build up means that when you see the instructions as well, there's just there's an option for a lot of, we'll say tiki-taka passing. Yeah, tiki-taka passing. It's like it's just a lot of like 1-2s, lots of build-ups, working in that triangle to create space, and hopefully you can see that in the gameplay. But it's the best way I can explain how this personnel wants to work. And I'll say in regards to personnel, I've opted for 3 proper box-to-box players for my defensive midfielder and my 2 centre midfielders. I used to always run a like cam in this left centre mid spot, but because of how boosted these cards are, I decided to give Barella a run here, and I think with how the game plays at the minute, you want just 3 pure box-to-boxes here, and then someone that can get in and finish. Obviously, Barella's 5-star, which works brilliantly for that. Over on the instructions, the keeper is on default. You don't want to change anything, and the same applies for the centre-backs. Over on the left-back side of things, so we do want to run fully balanced, and on the right-back, we want to have that stay back while attacking. As I discussed, you want to have a more defensive fullback and a more attacking fullback. It's not the end of the world if you have 2, say, more attacking fullbacks, but you just put one on staying back while attacking. That's still fine, but I'll say this Cordoba card works basically perfectly for this role. Another option in the Serie A for me is the Martinez Quattro card. He's very good for this, but obviously Cordoba sort of takes the win. That's how you want the fullback setup to be. You can change this, so if you want your left back to be stay back, you can put your right back on balance. Don't worry about that, it is interchangeable. For the defensive midfielder, we have cut past the stay back, and then cover center. This is kind of my go-to combo when I have a central defensive midfielder. And so, like Spinazzola, because of his pace and just how he plays in game, that cut past the lanes makes him absolutely fantastic. Another option would be man mark, but I find that overall this year, cut passing lanes has been stronger. Your right central midfielder is going to be your like secondary defensive guy, but we'll be getting forward. You can see there we've not got him on stay back, we have him on balanced, and it's default ever except for the support on crosses that we want to be on stay on edge of box or cross. And this is purely because even if he was balanced here, I run the risk of obviously Pereira's going to be getting forward, he's balanced, and then this back 3 is going to defend and Spinazzola's going to kind of roam. Vertu being on stay on edge of box or cross means that whenever I've got Pereira being quite aggressive, I've got Barella, Dybala, Zapata and Mbappe all like actively in the box, Vertu helps fill that gap between the guys that are staying back and the guys going forward. If I had him just going straight into the box, I end up with this big massive gap in the midfield, and this just allows to help with that. And then obviously it allows a recycling option as well, because if I had everyone flood into the box, I can very subtly run out of passing options. With this, it gives me the option to either pass back directly to him or maybe pass pass back to Cordoba and then like get the play recycled into Veretout. The left central midfielder is where you want to get more attacking. As I say, I used to run a cam in this system all the time. Get forward, get into the box for Barella. Worked absolute wonders for me. I mean, if you want out of the way to complete that Mendy SBC, which I don't think you should, because this Barella card is like basically the same and a hell of a lot cheaper, but that Mendy card would work really well in here with that 5-star and how he's been boosted. The cam is very critical in all this. He stay forward and get into the box for cross. I've been using Dybala here, you know, his card has always been good for me, having first owner, but a bit more special now that he plays Roma as well. You love to see it. This is crucial to the link up play. I'm chatting about triangles. You can see the triangles here. Obviously he's got the Mbappe Sabata link up, and then he's got the link up with the two midfielders, and then he can also, I found a lot of the cam gets into positions to play these like looping balls out to the fullbacks whenever they get advanced. The right striker, I've got Zapata here, who is surprisingly good. Stay central, stay forward, and get in behind. I always do this for like my main striker. They don't necessarily have to be beefy strikers, but in this case, I've got Mbappe, who's like just blistering fast, and then I've got Zapata, who's a bit more of a bulky striker. I find that basically whoever your biggest striker is, you want this triple combo on it, and then the left striker is just simply getting behind, and this is always what you want to do for your PC option. Just before we dive into the gameplay, I just want to note this Zapata card has been surprisingly good. If you look at, I've played 19 games, I played golden goal to be able to play FUT Champs in under 50 minutes, so obviously the games I lost is going to just ruin his record, but he's 6'2", the 5-star. He moves so smooth and so quick. I did not expect it. Obviously, Tammy Abraham's like 6'4" and feels a little bit heavier on the ball. This Zapata just like feels like a normal, like say like 5'11" striker. We put the engine on him to get the stats up. He's very similar to Prime Icon Moments Ronaldo, which is insane. And then all the traits. Like this card was 100% worth getting if you could. But let's go have a look at the gameplay now. So as always with the gameplay, I've recorded a few different games that sort of showcase as much as I can with the formation. If you're looking here, we're gonna have things showcasing how the through balls work, how the build up is good, and then the general ones are just like this is a 2-0 rage quit, and we've got a 6-3 rage quit. And I'll skim through and find the key bits. Look at that for a bit of play though. Look at that for a goal and a run from Tammy Abraham. Let's just roll it back real quick. Obviously, this is from kickoff. My team has transitioned into the shape. You can see this is Tammy Abraham moving into the shape, but it's just a little bit of like dribbling from Mbappe, and I managed to pull the centre back out a little bit. I pressed L1 to get Tammy Abraham on the run, and he gets through, and just really nice finish, I'll be honest. I'm gonna get a run, but we had a corner here. He tries to counter attack on us. We managed to get in there with Chiellini for the interception. I feel like Mbappe should have finished this. Obviously, great save from Alisson, but this is basically just before I got the second goal to cause the red. We get the ball in to Abraham, nothing comes from it. This is where Veretout, he would be here anyway with the corner set up. I can use this for like the general crossing, because Veretout, say in a normal attack where I'm crossing, he would sort of roam this positioning, so if the ball does come out, I can get it to him and have an alternative option. Barella obviously feels great on the ball. Dybala, nice little turn, and then we get the 2-0 rage quit. You know, nothing too flashy here, and some of the other videos will show me more about the system. This is all about the through balls from this set of gameplay. Obviously, we're on the defense here. The team, obviously, I want to actually, maybe this can help me show the defensive shape for you guys. So when you see us defending, and if I get back, it's a very easy flat line. You end up having like sort of a stack in the middle between your defensive midfielder and your right centre mid. They kind of do sort of fall on top of each other and move around a bit freely. And then the front three you can see, and that's Barella. There's parallel with the referee. He's going to try and force it down the wing. With Cordoba, obviously with the pace he has, I can essentially just track it the whole way and follow it and just sort of see where it goes. Obviously holding the space at this point. Obviously we're not a drop back or anything, but we're cutting off almost every passing lane. We've got what, that's 4, 7, essentially this is the whole team back. This is actually the attacking triangle when I had El Shaarawy playing. So although they're on stay forward, at least one of them is, this is how deep they'll come for you when you're defending. And then essentially I win the ball back here with Spinazzola. As I say, he's a fast defensive midfielder, and he's exactly who you want to be playing this defensive midfielder role. You want someone that's absolutely rapid and can get in for these sort of interceptions. But this is the build up. We have fast build up on, and I just send El Shaarawy on a run, and I just pump it along to him. Obviously the tackle misses there, and we get through, and it's just a beautiful finish. But this is all you have to do. Like, this isn't even like dropping back and waiting for a counter. We're just defending normally, managed to get in for an interception. He has 3 people back, but because you can see there that 3 triangle of the pink we have, that option there with then Barella, who's going to be rapidly getting forward with it as well, all it takes is me sending one person on a run, big thumping through ball. I could have attempted maybe crossing to Mbappe, but I seen that he had it covered, and I was able to go along with El Shaarawy. This guy rolls down to 10 men in all fairness to this stage, but you can see we're defending again. Spinazzola once again dropping between the defenders and doing wonders for us. He still has 3 people back, and it's all just about the counter attack on the fast build up and sending people forward. I sort of ran horizontally there just to give people time. You can see the build up if I can get it to it again. If I had continued just to run straight here, it may have very well worked off. I could have tried to target that bit down the middle, but I wanted to give it time for other people to get involved. Again, give space for Dybala before I stretched it, and then we were able to just run it down to the byline and cut it across, and Veretout taps home. Now, if you're keen for some good build-up, this is going to be exactly what you're after here. So as I say, once it gets Spinazzola winning the ball back from that defensive midfielder position, Veretout is the right centre mid. We're getting involved with Barella here, and it's just like little bits of light dribbling, just trying to work the spaces, lots of little 1-2, sending people on runs. And it's just absolutely fantastic. Obviously, because I've pressed like an L1 pass with Veretout, he's gone on a run here, and there's Barella also making deep runs in through. So here I did a L1 pass, sent Barella on the run, and then we would just like little tapping passes that are very hard. I'd say very hard to predict, but sometimes it's hard to react as a defender in those situations. I basically went and scored the second goal immediately here. I'd say Dybala is key to like all the link-up play in this system. Unless you're forcing it wide to Pereira, and you sort of see the difference in the fullbacks. This is Pereira here making the run, and down at the very bottom of the screen beside the play button, that's where Cordoba is sitting. So just sort of for a bit of an idea of how deep, you can actually see his head about there. Again, like lots of little 1-2s and through. That didn't go exactly how I planned, honestly. I should have probably passed it again here. I probably should have tried to play it to Mbappe, but still El Shaarawy gets in with the header, and the build-up is just going to be quite smooth, and I say Dybala is a key to everything in the system. Didn't score from this opportunity, but this is a fantastic example of like the nice build-up. Obviously, we won the ball back with Cordoba here, and straight away, we're in like a 2-on-2 with people tracking back, but because we've got fast strikers and the fast build-up and direct passing, I mean, great save from Courtois, but like just how quickly we managed to transition there and get a great opportunity through on goal. I just look at this, like it was obviously not even so much error on his part, it's just how the system's set up. Is a 2-on-2 and Mbappe manages to get completely through. And the final game I have is a 6-3 rage quit, so I'm going to go through, find the goals. We might finally have something to sort of showcase the issues with the system. But look at big Duvan Zapata here, just absolutely running through. I don't know how he doesn't score. I completely messed that one up, but this is a good starting point. We were on the defence. I'll use this here as another sort of through ball example. Obviously, we're defending here. Managed to win the ball back with Chiellini. Absolutely gifted back to him. Very lucky defending from Koulibaly, I'll be honest. But look at this. He dragged the defender out and straight away we were through. I did send Mbappe on a run, hoping that I'd get him through, but he covered it off really well with Militao. I tried to go near post with that, but it just wasn't happening. So I actually went 1-0 down in this game. This is where, as you've seen me do it a lot and successfully, I tried to roam with Cordoba. Here I got caught out, which means immediately I'm at a disadvantage because Pereira's in the middle of tracking back. That was just really smooth passing from him. Really good play, I'll be honest. But if so far in all the clips, I've won this tackle or this tracking with Cordoba, which is what you should be trying to do. If you lose it though, obviously this is exactly what can happen. Your team immediately gets stretched, and all it takes is someone playing a nice little bit of passing. I feel like Pereira, I'm pretty sure I hit circle there. He should have got in with the tackle, but we went 1-0 down in this game. We're getting to the stage where it's all counter-attacks for my gameplay here. So we pick up with Barella, his dribbling to be able to do that in the boxes and see him. But we've got like a 2-on-3 here, and I can just pump it like a curving ball through to Zapata, tap it across to Mbappe. Alisson gets a hand to it, but that's just really smooth counter-attacking football, and that's the fast build-up and the direct passing paying off for us right there. Here's their second goal they score. Honestly, I dive in with Koulibaly. That touch from Benzema, man, really opened this chance up for him. Normally I win these situations with Koulibaly. I dove in, that little tab just took it that bit wide. I had to drag across with Chiellini, and then he gets through with Chiesa. He's got like maxed out pace, and he gets a beautiful finish. Also, that little one tap from Benzema to the side cut me right open. This is a good example of how you need to be able to spot the runs when you're playing. Obviously, we get the win in there with Pereira. Spinazzola, I take some time, but some people, like I'm gonna say some people, a lot of people can see this pass happening, but Dybala has just naturally gone in this run. I haven't called for it. And in the past, I sometimes let this pass slip. I don't see it actively enough, but I managed to spot it here, and I know because it's like an AI run that if I go through quick enough, his defense isn't going to adjust. Obviously, you see auto connected onto that player, and I'm able just to get in through, quick tap from Dybala, and then just go straight for goal with it. And this is a prime example coming up of why you want someone like Barella at the left centre mid spot if you're not using a cam, because I got kind of lucky there with the pass, we'll be honest, but he's fast, 5-star, can pass, dribbling feels really smooth, and he can finish. And like that's the big thing, 5-star finishing options there. I've just ran forward with him, done a little 1-2, gets into the box, and I'm confident with that 91 shooting and gets boosted with the Hawk that he'll be able to finish it off. No goal from this one again, but this is a good idea of a counter-attacking build-up that you can see. Obviously Barella comes back to help. This is a good idea of the defensive shape here actually. We've tracked back with Pereira to win the ball back and help Chiellini, and then this is very much in a full 1-2-1-2 shape. You can see Spinazzola, Vera to Barella here, and then my webcam's covering where Mbappe is, but Mbappe is just above where the cursor is. And then we got our front three. I just take some time here and I just try to play a looping ball over to Duvan Zapata, a little 1-2s. I feel like, obviously he's moved his keeper there for that, but that was a perfect opportunity just to fire a volley home. Just to show that the attack is a little bit more dynamic with this system here. We just pumped the through ball to Lozano, and in this case, rather than cutting it inside, I'm going to run it down to the byline, take the time with dribbling, and just cut it across to Mbappe for the finish. And the final goal, I mean, I'm going to say it comes from a counter-attack. Basically all FIFA goals come from a counter-attack of some sort. It's like, because the game's always so back and forward, at least in most cases, aren't boring. Look at that for a penetrating through ball from Gareth Bale, though I actually brought him on to play the left centre mid spot, and then we just try to chip it over and it goes through. But this is, Bale came on for the spot that Barella was playing, and this is where I'm saying you can use attacking players in this left centre mid role if you really want to. You can see the shape again with the triangles. This would be the right centre mid about to get forward, but an attacking player with like really good passing traits, you can sort of get away with passes like this. One of my options here would have been through balling it to Mbappe, but I was 2 goals up, I decided to go for the chip, and thankfully Chiesa as I can followed up, and that's all the gameplay for the 4-1-2-1-2. So guys, hopefully you found that useful. I really enjoyed this system. It's one of the Sheins where I change system every single week for this video. I absolutely love playing with this. I think I could build a really interesting team this week, but we're gonna have to transition on to new formations to test for next Monday's video. So if you've got any recommendations or any custom tactics you actually want to see, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, as I said at the start, please leave a thumbs up on it. It's greatly appreciated, and hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. The supporting channel has been absolutely fantastic, and I'm looking forward to FIFA 23. I hope you are as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.